Hello everybody, I just wanted to show you my awesome Rhinebeck sweater that I wore this year to Rhinebeck 2024. I had a great time and I loved showing off something that I made, so I thought I would show you how I made it. Enjoy.
Okay, so let me tell you what I'm gonna do after I've done my 8-pointed star. I believe that is what I call this. There's a tutorial for this on YouTube, here on YouTube. That shows you how to do the little half and halves. Go watch that if you want to make one of these. I really like this motif. I've made several things with it. So what I think I'm going to do now is that this is going to be the center of the back of my cocoon cardigan. So I'm going to be building out, making like a larger quilt with different designs going around this one. So what I think I'm gonna do is I made a bunch of these little, like instead of a half and half, it's like a quarter color. And I'm gonna be going around the perimeter, like with the arrows facing one way in the blue, and then I'm gonna go back and do the same thing in the yellow. So I'm gonna show you how I do the little quarter guys right here. I've done a handful of these, so I think I know how I want to do them now. I'm using a size G hook for this project, and this one I got from Hooks by Hobbii. She has a bunch of cute ones. And then I'm using Happy Place yarn. It is a DK weight yarn. It is half cotton, half wool. It's so much fun to work with. It comes in great colors. So I'm going to be starting the way that I start all of these granny squares, and these all have a 3 round, like 1 row, 2 row, row single crochet. You could totally change how many you wanted to do for that. So for these, I'm going to start with my background color by chaining 3. Then I'm going to double crochet into that center loop 3 times. This is also the way I start a granny square. If you do it with a magic loop, or if you do like a chain 3 and then make a circle, that would also work. So that's my first cluster. I'm gonna go chain 3. I do 3 for the corners, other people do 2. I'm gonna do my second cluster in that same loop. And then I'm gonna add my contrast color, which in this case will be the yellow. So I'm going to chain 2 in the light color, my background color. Then I'm going to do the last chain by adding in the yellow. You might be able to hear the washing machine upstairs. If so, I am sorry. Okay, throw that in there. And then I'm going to double crochet for this cluster 3 times. Right here in the middle, and the contrast color. You can do your contrast color at any point. Like you can do it as the first one, the second one, third one, fourth one. I have found for the way that I like to finish them off that it works best to do it as the 3rd cluster for me. So then I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to switch back to the background color. And then I'm going to move that tail out of my way. Hold it down so you can see. Finish it off right here, crocheting over the yellow the same way that I crocheted over the cream last time. Okay, and I'm just gonna finish by chaining 3, my corner, slip stitching into this stitch. And since this is a closed granny square, I don't have to slip stitch over to the gap. So I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to carry this yarn in my stitches. So like kind of right there, crocheting over it, because I'm not going to need it until the other side. But it helps keep things a little bit neater on the back if you do that way. So I'm crocheting I'm doing a double crochet over each cluster and then twice in the corner before chaining. So right now I have 5 double crochet. I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to double crochet 2 more, continuing to carry the contrast color, and that, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, I can do that too. 3, then twice. So this is the side where we're going to start bringing back the yellow. But we're going to do 2 double crochets in the cream, do 2 chains, the cream, switch it to the yellow, and then we're going to do the yellow twice here while continuing to carry that cream yarn. Let's see that. And then we're going to go right across the top, 3 double crochets. And then 2 more in the corner. Chain 2 with the yellow, switch it to the cream, and then finish it off on this side. So as opposed to the half and half squares, these quarter ones are, I don't know, they seem a little bit trickier, but they're really not. Oh, I love this yellow. When TL Yarncrafts came out with this collection, I think the yellow was my favorite. And I desperately need to make my daughter something out of the yellow because she loves yellow. I mean, as much as any 8-month-old shows a preference for any color. Okay, so I've done the last side. I've chained 2. I'm going to slip stitch back into the top right here. And then if I wanted to make this bigger, I would just continue doing what I had just done. But because I only want like this size square, I'm going to end with a single crochet row. I just like the way it looks. I think it looks neat, but to each their own. So I chained 1. I'm doing a single crochet in each of the double crochets. And then when I get to the corners, I'll just do 3 single crochets into the corners. So 1, 2, 3. And then continue doing, oh shoot. I just realized I didn't carry my yarn for any of that, which is why it's important to look over your work. Okay. The reason why I carry my yarn, you can kind of see the yarn on the back, like coming up right here. But if I didn't, it would just have a big pull like from here to here, and I did not like the way that looked when I've done that in the past. And just, you know, don't want it to have basically a big float that could catch on something. Okay, 3 in the corner, continuing to carry the yarn all the way over to our fun corner, or at least the corner where things are a little different. So once you get to this corner, the way that I've been doing it with these little like quarter contrast squares is I do the first, hold it back so you can see, the first single crochet in the background color, finishing it off with a contrast color, switching the yarn that you're carrying, and then doing the other 2 in the gold or in your contrast color. For the half and half squares, I just alternated. So like one side would have 2 of the contrast, 2 of the background. The other one would have 2 of the background, 1 of the contrast. And it made it look nice and even. But for these, it works, I think it looks best with 2 of the contrast. So I've done 1, 2, switch. Now, here is why I like doing it as the 3rd color. So I did 2 backgrounds and then 1 contrast when I started it, is that now I do not need to carry the gold anymore because I won't need it anymore. So I'm just going to drop it, single crochet that last one in the corner, and then finish it off. And because I am seaming all of these squares together, I am leaving a long tail for the last color that I'm using, and that works best with the background color being the last color that you use. Last corner, going in here 3 times. Oop. And then 2 single crochets here. Now, if you didn't want to have attached yarn to your square, you could just slip stitch right here, cut, weave in your ends. I'm seaming all of mine together, and I like to have the seams start in the corners, so I'm actually just going to slip stitch to the corner over here. Easier said than done, apparently. And then I will now cut my yarn, weave in my ends on the back, and I'll have another little cute quarter square. Okay, so it's been about a week since I was on here last time, and I want to show you my progress on my Rhinebeck sweater. Oh, I love it. Can you see it? So this is where I started, the 8-pointed star, and then I did these little like quarter contrast colors, and I did the blue ones facing one way, the yellow ones facing the other way, and then the corners I just did a solid granny square. And the reason why I needed to do 2 rounds of whatever I was doing is because on the next layer of this, I'm going to be doing these pinwheels, and it needed to be in a multiple of 2 since they are 2 squares across. So I really like it. I've been calling these pinwheels. Let me know in the comments if these are called something else. Pinwheels are if they have quarter triangles too. But I also have a tutorial for these. It's also the center part of the 8-point quilt block. But yeah, I've got, these are going to be in all the colors that I have so far. So the blue, yellow, green, also this navy, and then also like an eggplant. So I will check in back with you after I have that round, but I'm really happy with it. Hi guys. Hopefully you can hear me over the lawn care that is happening outside of our building today, but I had to pop on and show you. I finished the last super colorful round. So I was at this point last time. I added a row of these pinwheels all the way around that I really like. And so now I'm gonna do a try on by folding it, because this is going to be a cocoon cardigan. So I'm going to fold it in half like this, and then I'm going to pin these sides and then do a little try on to see if I need to add more width. I think I do. When I went back to a cocoon cardigan that I have, that I like the fit of, it's more of a rectangle than it is a square. And I do want this to feel like a big, cozy, oversized blanket, but I do want to make sure I have enough room. Now this yarn is a merino, not a merino, a wool cotton blend, so it's nice and light, but it also means that it will grow a little bit. Not as much as a superwash, but we'll grow a little bit. All right, so I've pinned the two sides. So now I'm gonna open it in the middle, and then I'll put my arms through the armholes, like so. Probably shouldn't have tried this on over a denim shirt. Oh, I already lost a stitch marker. I could tell that I probably do need a little bit more width. Okay, well that side is completely popped off. Should have used better stitch markers. Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. Here, let me move you up so you can see the entire back. Whoop. Sorry about that. But look, oh, that's gonna be so pretty. So yes, the fact that both of those stitch markers popped off on the other side, what I'm gonna do is just on the edges, so just on these two sides, I'm gonna add a row of solid granny squares, and that should give me enough room in the middle. Probably do that and then block it, and I'll show it to you when I'm blocking it. It's so close, I love it. Okay guys, I have finished seaming it. I blocked it, and what I did is I just folded it in half, and you can see my tail right there. I seamed it about halfway up, and that gives me the armhole. And now I'm ready to work on the ribbing. So it opens like this. See if you can see it. It's like a fun origami trick. There we are. So we've got our two armholes over here. I'm about to start the ribbing along the middle, and then I'll do the sleeves and I'll pop in a picture so you can see what it looks like on already. But I'm so excited, it's looking so good. Okay guys, I just wanted to pop over here and show you the ribbing. It is almost done. I have from here to here left. I went around the entire interior of the cardigan with a row of single crochet. I turned, did a row of half double crochet, and then I did a row of single crochet in the back loop. And it just gives you this really pretty chain detail. And then I'm doing an applied ribbing with 14 stitches all the way across. I ended up not going down my hook size. I'm still using the size G that I use for everything else, mainly because I don't really need this ribbing to tighten up, to cinch anything in, and I'm really digging it. I did decide, I'll show you with the sleeves, that I'm going to add some length to the sleeves. I think 3, just because I have 3 squares right there, 3 squares up, like adding them in the round, and then I'll do a similar ribbing on the edge, and then I'll be done. But it's so close. Guys, it's done. It just needs one more block, but it is ready. Got a happy baby over there. I finished the sleeves. I love the length. I love the colors. It's done. The next time you'll see it will be Rhinebeck pictures.